Hey everyone, RogueGold here, welcome back to the Division 2, and welcome to the new season. As of today, Year 6 Season 3 Burden of Truth is live, and to kick off my coverage of it all, I wanted to take a look at Season Pass XP. If you've been watching any of the lead-up content to the release today, or you maybe checked out the patch notes, you may have heard that some changes have been made to how you acquire Season Pass XP, notably that some additional sources have been added compared to the first presentation of Seasons 2.0 that we got last season, but as always, some of the stuff can be a bit confusing. So in this video, I want to just quickly and concisely cover what has changed, and go over some of my best recommendations for how to tackle Season Pass progression. Hopefully that sounds good. If this video does help you out and you want to catch my future guides and content on the game, then I hope you'll consider clicking that subscribe button if you haven't already. There's plenty more on the way. But with that said, let's get right to this. Alright, so just like always, to view your season pass and your progression with it, you're going to want to go into your menu and over to seasons. It is the first tab that will open all the way on the left there at the top, and it's very simple. Just like all other season passes in other games, you have 100 tiers of rewards here to claim, but there are specific ways that you need to gain season pass XP to progress through this. And at all times, even when you're out of this menu, you can check what season pass level you are. Up at the top right, you can see it is the lower orange number, so I'm at tier 20 right now. But let's now just go down the list of not only the changes made to Season Pass XP, but also what some of the best recommendations are now that those changes are in place. The first thing to be aware of is XP multipliers. There are two independent multipliers that you could put on top of your Season Pass XP gain, and so if you're trying to go through this pass the quickest, utilizing both of those multipliers is going to help you do so. The way to view those, if I go back into the season menu and over to the journey, because remember every journey objective here rewards you with Season Pass XP, you can see on the right again that orange number. Next to it, you can see in parentheses, I have that plus 20%, and that is going to be active on any source of Season Pass XP that I look at. It's in the rewards on the right side, it's in the reward column on the left. If I look at priority objectives, which we know rewards them, every single source has a plus 20% next to it. So, how do we get that? There are actually two independent sources of 10% multipliers that are adding up to that 20 total. The first one is from the pass itself. If you buy the premium version of the season pass, you get a 10% multiplier to your XP gain. So again, I've already purchased this. That is why it says premium active there at the top of the track. If you choose to purchase the premium season pass, that is how you're going to get the first 10% multiplier to your XP gain. You can look at that in the store here in case you want to get it. So that is the first source. The other source, and this one is brand new as of Year 6 Season 3, enabling and playing with seasonal modifiers also gives you a 10% boost. So you can see I have my modifier system enabled. That's why it says deactivate at the bottom, because I could turn it off if I want to. But if we do that, let's just hit that right now, and I were to go back to the journey that we were just looking at, you will see that now all these things only say 10%, because I'm only getting an extra 10% if I have modifiers enabled. So again, it's very good to be aware of those two sources of multipliers if you want the most bang for your buck. Alright, now the next thing I want to take a look at are the actual XP sources themselves. We have all of the things from last season, which we'll cover momentarily, but as of this season, there has been one big change made, and that is that, if I go to my map, pretty much every type of activity you can complete in this game now rewards completion Season Pass XP. If we look at DZ landmarks here, you can see we're getting that orange number, 66 XP. If I scroll back to the open world and go to this main mission, you'll see that gives me 213. I could look at an open world activity like aerial recon. That's going to give me some. This also counts for the major game modes of the game. It probably won't show it in the breakdown here. But you can see right there, yeah, the Season Pass XP symbol is there for the rewards for Countdown. You'll get some from Descent as well, I believe. Yep, right there. You'll get it from the Summit. So that is the one big inherent change, is that pretty much whatever activity you're going to do, you'll be getting Season Pass XP. The only ones that I think do not count, I don't think you'll get any if you do Kenley College. Obviously, it's not even available right now. I don't believe bounties count for this new system. I could be wrong there. I've not tested that out, but it's not showing it in the reward breakdown. But point is, for just about the vast majority of all content you're going to want to go and play in the game, it's now going to reward you some Season Pass XP upon completion. However, that is of course not your only way to get XP, as those sources are relatively small. You still have all of your existing XP sources just like last season. The journey is a big source of that. Every little objective you complete here gives you some, as you see on the right side. And upon completing an overall chapter here, you'll get a larger chunk of Season Pass XP. You can see in the rewards on the left column under Journey Mission 1. If I were to complete 6 of these and be done with this first chapter, it would then give me 2,640. Another great one, and this is one of the most farmable and replayable sources of Season Pass XP, is priority objectives here. They made this change last season, but it was after the season launched, so a lot of people might have already been done with their pass by the time this went in. But no longer do you have to choose Season Pass XP as a reward for priority objectives. You can see under or right next to the duration counter there, every single priority objective awards you a season pass XP. That's going to make some of these longer ones more worthwhile because you can see the short only gives me 66, whereas if I were to go and take on a stronghold, that's 700. That's quite a lot. So these are going to be super good to do. And then just like last season as well, you also have your weekly projects. If we take a look at this one right here, this would give me 1200 if I completed that. I believe they all are that amount. Yeah, so the weekly summit is 1200. This one is really good to do, the Shade Requisition. But yeah, that is your other sources that every weekly project is going to award you with a large chunk of Season Pass XP. Alright, well now that we have taken a look at every source of Season Pass XP, as well as the multipliers that you can place on top of that, the question becomes, what is the best methods I can use to farm Season Pass XP efficiently? Well, it's not too hard to figure out, but it's really just going to be stacking as many of those sources as possible while you play. So, for instance, I would probably first take a look at my journey as I'm leveling up and see what kinds of objectives I need to do in here. So, for example, under Tier 1 here, I need to complete the American History Museum mission. I also need to complete 2 main missions overall here. Then I would probably go over to priority objectives, and I see that I have a mission that I can decode right here. So let's do that. Let's see which one I get. I get Bank Headquarters. So if I need to complete 2 main missions, let's take a look on the map right here. I need to do American History. That's going to get me 259. I need to do Bank Headquarters. Completing that itself, if I reset its difficulty here, will give me 291. On top of that, completing that priority objective is going to give me 548, and then completing both of those things will give me 300 there and an additional 300 there. So you can see very quickly that by layering just a few of these systems, you can start to get a lot of XP very quickly. And on top of that, in a more long-term sense, you can also track what your projects are for the week and work towards those gradually. Some of these are, of course, going to take longer than others. But you can see right here for the weekly invasion fighter, if I was going to go and do American History like we just talked about, that is on invaded, that would give me 1 out of 2 on that objective. And if I work toward this one over time, then pretty soon I'll get another 1200 bump from completing this. And again, that goes for doing the summit or descent, which you can also get in the priority objective rotation under activities if you want to look out for those. So the ways in which you can do this are pretty open-ended. It's really just about being smart and stacking as many of those things as possible. Mostly, in my opinion, looking at journey objectives, stacking that with priority objectives, and doing the proper activities in the game that are going to award you those completion rewards. But yeah, my friends, that is more or less going to do it for my tips and recommendations here on Season Pass XP. Alright, there you go, folks. As promised, that is your quick overview of the new changes and system and my recommendations regarding Season Pass XP. I very much hope you all enjoyed and found it helpful in understanding the new system and changes. If you still have any questions about this entire thing, then be sure to leave those down below and I will do my very best to clear things up. But additionally, as always, I'd love to hear your thoughts about this. Do you think this presentation of Season Pass XP is a bit better than what we had last season? Do you like the fact that I get rewarded for using modifiers? Whatever you're thinking, leave it all down below. That's going to do it for me today, folks. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. RogueGold. Ow.